Let's go! Not over.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. With me is always Johnny C., creator of Surrounded by Death, Sartana, and The Pond. And our third co-host, Harry G., graphic artist extraordinaire.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on,
Happy
fellas?
President's Day, everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
President's Day. Good day to buy a car.
What's that?
Good day to buy a car.
You guys work today?
Yeah.
Or?
There's always President's Day sales.
Yep, that's right.
You guys,
did you guys all have the day off today or no?
I did, yeah. I was not.
Okay.
Was that? Oh, you did.
I was off for my office job, but I was doing some comic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I was
Yeah,
taking it because I picked up a cold somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
something's
off.
Something's going around because I had something.
Go ahead, Harry. What'd you have?
No, something's going around because I had something, like last show that it was beginning to develop, like a chest cold kind of thing. But
Did it go full blown? Like, was it like a head cold kind of thing, or?
Never, and I never got any of the symptoms. Only like something like a dull congestion in the chest, and then at the very beginning, and then since the last show, all kinds of crap because it's becoming out, but it's over now. It's fine.
That's good.
He had a very mild COVID. Like Picante.
Yeah.
There goes Picante, mild, medium, hot.
Yeah,
short COVID instead of long COVID. Yeah,
I never.
What comes after long COVID? Is it
Yeah.
fucking eternal COVID?
Yeah, right.
Perpetual COVID. I never had.
Yeah, right.
I never had. I never had any other symptoms though. I never I couldn't. I breathed fine. I never lost breathing. So that's good.
I can't taste anything, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer because I made a bunch of good stuff. I have homemade beef jerky downstairs. I get bored when I'm sick, and if I'm not doing anything else, so I'll start doing things. So I made Rice Krispie treats. I made beef jerky. I made chili, and I can't taste any of it.
That's the worst thing you
made
do when you're sick too. But I'm the same way, Johnny. I have a hard time relaxing. So me sitting on the couch watching 3 movies or something, and to me is oh my god, I got to do something. I can't. I
did watch a movie though. I watched 65.
Oh, the Adam Driver movie.
Yeah,
it was okay.
A lot better than I expected.
Yeah, it was okay. We saw it in the theater. It's very simple, and I think that's why it's just eye candy movie, and it's
very straightforward.
It's a point A to point B kind of movie,
So I remember when you saw it in theaters, you told me you go after Jurassic World. Yeah, it's not as exciting. You know what I mean? In terms of a dinosaur action movie.
Right.
I haven't seen a Jurassic movie in a while, so it hit nice. You know what I mean? It was it hit the spot perfectly for me.
Yeah, the last 2 Jurassic movies.
I was watching
horrible.
Harry,
what's that?
No, I was watching a bunch of previews before we came on tonight, and the Deadpool trailer, Ghostbusters, Godzilla, and Kong.
All of those look good.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, they all look kind of. I mean, it's almost like too much going on the screen. You know, I mean, I'm sure they all kind of look good. You know, but and then like there's some like
CGI is
remakes
too
like
much.
the Fall Guy. Yeah, too much CGI. You know, and like
The Fall Guy remake.
there's,
I'm on
I
board
wanna
for
see
that.
Yeah, I want to see the Fall Guy.
I
I'm
don't
in.
know.
on board for that.
I didn't have any kind of like feeling of the old. Nothing about it was like reminiscent of the old show. You know, I don't know.
No,
And,
just his
what else?
Canadian tuxedo. That's it. He had the
Right,
denim
and
jacket.
the other one's.
And I'm sure he's gonna have the truck at some point, right?
Yeah.
I hope so. That's the only thing.
It seems like an
then,
origin movie.
there's,
Like he's not quite the bounty hunter yet. Like it feels like the movie might lead into that. You know, like it's almost like an origin thing. That's my guess, anyways. I haven't read anything on it. I just kind of want to watch it. I think it looks fun.
One other movie I watched over the weekend was sorry, Harry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, pal. I was going to say one other movie I watched over the weekend was Armageddon, which I haven't seen in a long time either. And man, they don't make movies like Armageddon anymore. Let me tell you.
I'm telling you, Johnny, like I try to watch more older movies now because like it seems like movies were way different before 2010. Like, you know, like
so watching Armageddon kind of put me on that thought process, and I just kind of started thinking about it. And I'm like, well, what sets this movie apart? Why is this speaking to me directly than say what's going on right now? Yeah. And then I realized a lot of it was minimal CGI. A lot of minimal practical effects.
Yeah.
That makes such a critical difference. Even with the actors' emotions, the way they invoke their feelings. You could see it when they're doing it practically on site. Even when they're on the asteroid and you have all the spikes and it's very atmospheric, it's all practical, and there's some CGI just to kind of dress it up a little bit.
Yeah. It's kind of like what Bay did with the first Transformers movie. And like I know it's not a great movie, but like the effects
bad example.
Yeah, but the effects in it they hold up better than the newer ones, I think, you know.
100%. I think you're right in that regard, in the sense that the humans react more to the CGI better than say the later ones where it's just kind of like
they would like he would do like a real explosion with like the CGI added in, so it like kind of layered in really well, I guess. Like,
you know, like, I wonder if that made it easier for the animators or harder.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Best part of Armageddon, Peter Stormare is the Russian guy.
Oh, so awesome!
Things on Russian space station.
And Eddie Griffin at the beginning with the dog.
Yeah,
so good.
Love that dude.
Yep.
I couldn't tell who was fighting in this first Transformers movie.
What's that?
What'd you say, Harry?
In the first Transformers movie, I couldn't tell who was fighting. You know, it was like too much machinery happening. You know, I'm like,
I bet if you went back and watched it now, though, it'd be a different experience versus the newer ones. The newer ones are everything's 100% CGI. You know,
the best one was Dark of the Moon of the Michael Bays. And then the Bumblebee was probably the better of the more recent ones.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a franchise that could use a nice reboot by somebody else, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
With somebody
Bring
like
Travis Knight back. He was awesome.
Yeah. Hell, start using the comics from Skybound as the source material. You'd be better off, really, you know?
Good. Yeah.
You know, and mix it with the whole G.I. Joe universe that they wanted to do with the last one. You could tell like they had hard. What's that?
They're trying hard to shoehorn these two franchises together.
They don't have like their Kevin Feige over there, you know, to kind of oversee.
They need a Johnny C over there to tell them what. Those are the toys I played with as a kid, so I'm ready.
Absolutely, you know. So, but should we bring in the guests while we're yapping about movies?
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Let's bring them in without further ado. Otherwise, we're just going to keep going on tangents.
Yeah. So tonight's guests they've been on with us before. It's Stephen and Joseph from Tales of Nihilism. And first we'll bring in Stephen. How's it going, Stephen?
Hey, how's it going? It's going good over here.
All right, welcome man. Good to see you again. Good, and then we got Joe Pittman with us as well. Hey, Joe.
Hey. Welcome back.
Hey, good. Did you guys have any comments about the movies we were just talking about? I'm sure you were listening backstage.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. The Jurassic movies, they don't want to go extinct, man. They're trying to do another
my
one
God.
already.
Right? Those last two are some of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Oh,
The
God.
first Jurassic World was okay because I think they kind of did it like the first Jurassic Park, but the ones after that, oh my God, miserable.
It almost makes it like to where you can't remember how hard it was to read the original Jurassic Park book because like it was so thick with like
Yeah.
all the science and genetic coding.
Yeah.
I feel like the difference is that they took the novel, they stripped out all the science. They're
Yeah.
like, let's get rid of every single
I
scientific.
know DNA.
Yeah.
I mean, this,
Then let's
Yeah,
fuck
Michael
them for, like,
Crichton spent-
dinosaurs and action.
Michael
Yeah.
Crichton almost spent another book trying to like, explain and prove why it was okay to do this whole thing.
Oh yeah, and the other
Yeah.
thing that bothered me about Crichton when he wrote The Lost World, and I hate that he undid, because Malcolm dies in the Jurassic Park,
Mhm.
and then he undoes it in Lost World, and it's like some throwaway line like, Malcolm, who was believed to be dead, is finally here. I was just like, what? It
Pretty
was just like
plot armor
when-
there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Johnny, it's like when Garth Ennis undid all the Angel Punisher stuff with one line.
Oh,
You
and
remember
I
that?
loved it though. He did it so
Everybody
good.
did.
He goes, he says it in like 4 word balloons. It's like no more micro, no more van. I died once, didn't take kind of thing. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
couldn't get more badass than
I
that.
got better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was
I'm
great.
almost excited to see Deadpool do that in this new movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Well, that's
I
good.
feel, yeah, I'm shocked because I am feeling like all that superhero fatigue. But when I saw the trailer for Deadpool 3, I was like, okay, I'm excited for this. This looks fun. It's
Yeah, it
like,
looks really good.
Marvel dominated the past week since the Super Bowl with the Deadpool trailer, X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, am I so excited for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be
I
awesome.
felt like a kid again watching that, and I think I watched it like 7 times in a row. I don't
Yeah.
think I've done that with a
Mhm.
trailer in a long time.
right? Yeah, I feel like
and
there's a
one other thing they
freshness.
dropped this week. I forget what it was, but I was just like, damn, with all these
Fantastic Four casting.
things. Oh, the Fantastic Four casting, yeah, which is everything except for Pedro Pascal, perfect.
right?
Nothing
I
against
agree.
Pedro Pascal, but he's just not Reed Richards to me. They should have kept Krasinski.
They should have kept Krasinski, and
My
they
boy
should have
Krasinski from Boston.
yeah,
Well, I
right.
mean, we haven't seen like a good Fantastic Four movie ever, anyways. So I'm still like okay, let's see what comes out of this.
I stand by the worst Fantastic Four movie being the best one, and that's the
one? The
94
Corman one?
unreleased Roger Corman one.
You're
Because
right.
the thing looks like the thing.
Yeah.
The guy doing Doctor Doom does Doctor Doom like to a T.
Yeah,
Perfectly. They made fucking lemonade out of lemons with the Mole Man,
yeah.
and that guy did some really good, like Shakespearean level, like monologues. And the effects were cheesy, but man, did it capture the heart of just like the family, the team, Fantastic Four. I felt
Absolutely.
like I was, watching the old '60s cartoon or the reading one of the early issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with you about Pedro Pascal, though. I don't get the Reed Richards vibe off of him. When they first floated the rumor, I'm like, no, not him. Like he's in too much.
They
and
shouldn't
it's just- I'm
reuse the
kind of
same.
sick of him, So, would you
I
say,
have a
Harry?
theory. Yeah, Harry.
If you already play a superhero in one movie, you shouldn't be allowed to play a different superhero. I'm sorry. They keep
Yeah, give
reusing
someone
the
else a
same
chance.
actors. I know.
I like
just be
Vanessa
creative.
Kirby. I think will be fine. Although I wish it should have been Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. Though I think they would have been way better.
Perfect.
And then the Thing, it almost doesn't matter as long as the actor can do like a Brooklyn accent. And then also Johnny Quest, as long as he's like, I mean, not Johnny Quest.
Yeah. What-
Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
You got Hanna-Barbera on the brain.
Yeah.
But Johnny
one thing-
Storm, as long as he's cocky, I think he'll be fine,
One thing I think they really nailed with the Thing is that actor's great, by the way. He was Micro in The Punisher. He's awesome in The Bear.
Yeah.
And
he's in that too.
He's Jewish, which The Thing is Jewish, and he's blue-eyed because it was Aunt Petunia's ever-loving blue-eyed thing. Yeah. And I can't wait to hear him say that live in person. You know what I mean?
He was also in something else too, but I'm blanking on what it was.
He was in one of the Star Wars things. I think it was Andor, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember him
from
Punisher too, as a microchip. He was good in that. So
yeah,
we'll see. Like, I mean, I don't think Pedro Pascal is like a deal breaker for me, but like,
agreed.
I don't love him either in the role. So we'll see. He might surprise us. So
So my theory with Pedro Pascal is that I think they cast him because he's got some range where he could play a villain or a hero.
Yeah.
And in the continuity of the Ultimate MCU or the Ultimate Marvel Universe, rather, Reed was a villain. And he formed the Council of Reeds. And he had and he became the Maker. Now, given everything that's gone on with King, how do you swap out those stories but find a proximate like a simile of a character who has a bunch of variants and also has a driving force as a villain, but the Maker, right? So, and that's why you introduce them in Fantastic Four and then you villainize them for the phase, right? Just my thought, just my theory.
Could work. You don't think
the scuttlebutt I've been following is that they just really, really, really want to take Dr. Doom and have him take the place of Kang. So in order to do that, you have to tell the Fantastic Four story. And, with Pedro Pascal being a much older actor, that also doesn't leave a lot of room for him to have like some sort of extended, contract where he's doing this for the next decade and all that other kind of stuff. So, I mean, that may be like kind of what they're going here. They're just going to do this one-off Fantastic Four and then time into, the Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff with Battle World and Dr. Doom and all that.
Work.
I like that theory. That's
like Dr. Doom is considered one of the greatest villains of all time. I mean, so like I'd welcome that. I mean, I don't know why they went with Kang anyways. Like, cause like Kang, like cool. Okay, Avengers villain, but like not this like not this Thanos level villain, like.
Well, and they already took Dr. Doom's story with Secret Wars and Battle World and all this, and they just like put Kang on top of it. So it was like, wait, like he's got his own story, and Dr. Doom has his own story. Why are we crossing wires here?
Yeah. I don't know why they did that. It seems weird, but you're right. Maybe they'll undo it and just insert Dr. Doom in that.
And that's theory, part of that whole joke. Ryan Reynolds coming through, and then the whole
wrecking everything.
Scuttlebutt there, as Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
That would be funny, man. I'd love to see it. So, I'm excited for Deadpool. I think it'll be fun. Be interesting to see if Disney tries to. Because I noticed on the trailer it said not yet rated. They gotta go an R-rated.
They have to. They'll sink the movie if they don't.
Yeah, they cannot PG-13 that.
Like, it might be a soft R,
but
it'll be an R.
Yeah, it's gotta be an R. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. So, shall we look at some comments from the audience before
Absolutely. Let's dive right in.
Yeah. So we got Ara in the audience tonight.
Ara, great to have you, buddy.
Good to see you, buddy. Of course, we got my wife in the chat tonight.
Hey, Amy.
And Johnny C's in the chat.
Hey, that was me from before.
Indie Comics Relays in the chat. Let's see what else we got. Ara said looking forward to Plastic City this year. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Like that'll be our first thing we talk about because I definitely want to mention that tonight. Dr. Mask said, "Hail Indie Comics Relay." What's up, Dr. Mask? What's going on? Jeremy Courtney in the chat tonight.
Hey, Jeremy.
What's up, Jeremy? Good to see you, buddy.
He's got a Tim Jones illustration there.
Avatar. Dr. Mask, everything now I watch, I'm just disappointed. Just watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and what does it say? And coffee sticking with the
old stuff.
Coffee sticking with the old stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the newer stuff is just bad. Marie Helene LeBron is with us. Hey, hello, Marie. How you doing?
I'm not totally out on new stuff. I just am more critical of it.
Very critical of it because a lot of it's just remakes, reboots, and franchises now, and it's just.
Although that new True Detective is dope, let me tell you.
Is it good? I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, so
it's really good. I just finally finished Fargo, and that was great.
That was good too. Well, funky ending, but that was good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was like probably one of their better seasons.
You say wife, you mean tiger.
Yeah. And you know why? I think it was not to get on an aside, but it was very it had a lot of elements from the actual original movie in it. Did you notice that, Johnny?
Oh yeah.
It was like centered around a kidnapping. The killer guy reminded me of Peter Stamari so much.
Oh
the dealership, all that stuff was in the original movie.
Yeah, it was almost like a reboot of it or whatever.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Yeah, definitely.
There's also a new Roadhouse coming out.
Yeah, I saw the preview for that.
I'd rather watch Peter Griffin as the guy, in Roadhouse.
I do like Conor McGregor as the villain. I may watch it. I don't know. I may check it out.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
They paid for a Super Bowl ad for that.
Yeah, I know. Right? And it's not even.
I don't understand advertising, streaming stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not even being released theatrically, which is odd, So. Why they would pay for an ad, I have no idea. Dr. Mass said, Michael Bay just blow up everything. That's true. It's very true. And then what Amy says here, I couldn't tell what was what in the Transformers movie. It looked like someone dropped a silverware drawer down some stairs.
So I didn't mind that as much as the corny shit. Like, Bumblebee peeing on somebody and a dog having to hump like another dog. What's that? Devastator having balls. Yeah. Like, come on now.
Well, the other one was the other thing. Well, the other thing that was weird in the Transformers movie is at the end when Shia LaBeouf is like practically humping Megan Fox on the hood of Bumblebee, and
that's okay.
Just standing around watching them. It was just like awkward.
Was blaring.
That's believable, at least.
It was very weird. Like
it couldn't be any more 2007.
Yeah,
that one, right?
You would definitely have a different thought if your car was sentient. You're like, me and my date are in here. Like,
right? Right? It's so bizarre.
This is now a whole new movie.
Yeah. Oh God. Marie Helene says, I want to see the Deadpool and Wolverine. It's coming soon. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big hit this summer. That'll be the biggest movie of the year.
I think it's going to hit. Yeah, definitely. Ara said, love that version of the Fantastic Four. That must be when you were talking about the Corman one, Johnny.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Amy said, don't forget that Chris Evans was also Johnny Storm and Ryan Reynolds was Green Lantern. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Marshall Ali was Blade. Blade, and he's going to be, or he was Cottonmouth as well. Like they recycle these guys a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Elizabeth Roberts is with us. Hello, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining us. Missed you guys, especially you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Then a little smile.
I get the winky face.
Yeah, that's awesome. Coffee movie. Oh, Coffee with Pam Grier. Okay, now I know what you were trying to say. Yep. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I remember that. That was cool. I love those old 70s movies. Kind of like a female Death Wish. Yeah, definitely. Death Wish. That's a movie for the ages. Hey, Darkstream's in the chat tonight. What's up, Jared?
Jared was just at a convention this weekend.
I saw that he got interviewed on the news and stuff.
Got interviewed in the news.
He looked so serious, like in that picture I saw. He was like,
it was just because he was mesmerized by the attractive reporter that was actually interviewing him. That's why
he looked like he was so studious. Like, yes, I am a comic creator.
I'm in comics.
That's great. Darkstream says the military crew from the first movie needed their own movie. That must be which movie were we talking about with the military crew? Was it Transformers? Or maybe it was Armageddon.
Yeah, probably.
Or maybe it was Armageddon.
Probably Transformers, because that military team was really fun. That would have been a great Michael Bay movie on its own. The banter between the characters. And that was
if you saw him on a mission or something.
Yeah, and that was one of the beauties of Armageddon, was the banter amongst all of them. And half the shit that Steve Buscemi says in that movie is wild in hindsight. Like just talking about dating underage girls and wild stuff.
Absolutely.
And then I know the stuff that's like shocking nowadays, when you watch it. Amy says, I'm familiar with Coffee. Pam Grier is a goddess. Yeah, I mean, so good. Elizabeth says, who wouldn't hump a Megan?
Right, exactly. Right.
That's great.
I got to be Megan Fox.
Dr. Mass said it was fun. And he said military crew from Transformers. Okay, yeah.
Yep,
led by that dude that was on Vegas, right? What was his name?
Josh Duhamel was on the team.
Josh Duhamel. Yeah, those guys.
And Scott Farkas from Christmas Story.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Zach Ward's in that group.
Yeah, that's right. I met him at one of Gary's show years ago. Him and the other kid that played Dover. Dover.
That was like one of my first shows with Gary back in the day.
Oh, that Christmas one he did?
Yeah.
That was
the
funny.
Second or third one we did, yeah.
Me and Semino got pictures of them beating us up, like like we were the kids from Christmas Story. It was great.
That's great.
But yeah, that was fun. But speaking of cons, we had talked about Plastic City earlier. One of the guests I wanted to announce that I finally it's booked and everything. We got Jimmy Hart coming to the show. The Hall of Famer Jimmy Hart, one of the greatest managers of all time. What's that? The Mouth of the South. What's that?
Can you believe he's 80 years old? I mean, we talked about that a little bit.
Can't believe it. I guess he's going to shoot a video too for us, like promoting that he's going to be at Plastic City and stuff. So
awesome.
That'll be cool. Like, and I actually got to thank Johnny because when I was offered a bunch of wrestlers and I kind of whittled it down to, was it Bret Hart and Jimmy Hart? And Johnny
couldn't have been Bret Hart.
No, which one was it, Johnny? Do you remember?
I think you messaged me about Brutus Beefcake or Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And you were saying that Brutus is kind of a bore at shows, or he just kind of shows up for a paycheck.
Well, so the show I saw him at, he wasn't very engaging with the audience. Not to say that he normally isn't, but between the two experiences I had with both individuals at separate shows, Jimmy Hart was a lot more fun to engage with. I mean, he was just like fully in his Jimmy Hart way. And he, when I walked in, he goes, "What's up, big man? What's up, daddy? How's it going, big man?" And I'm like, "Word, this guy's the best." And then all I got out of his beefcake was just kind of like a whiskey grin, like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know what I mean? Like,
like he wasn't like
that's a personality, with the mullet and sunglasses, you have to be like that.
Yeah, right.
But you're right, Harry. He wasn't probably in pain or something, in tough shape. So, I respect that in that regard. So no slight on Brutus Beefcake, only just that I had a better experience with Jimmy Hart, and that's how
he had a whole facial reconstruction. That guy.
Yeah, he did. I remember back in the day, he had to wear that mask.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Yeah,
did he really? Oh wow.
Yeah. His whole face was shattered, like by a skiing accident or something. Like a boat hit him. I don't know. Somebody crazy.
Yeah, so I think it'd be fun to have him at the show. You met him too, Harry, didn't you? You met him at a show.
Yeah, I've met Jimmy Hart and Brutus actually. I ran into they were in like some Boxborough hotel convention.
Oh yeah, one of
a
those
couple
bunk
years-
ass ones.
Yeah, so I just ran in there, and there he was. Like I just turned the corner, and there was Brutus right there. I'm like, oh my god! Like, and he had those
He's in the
shears
hallway,
and that.
right?
In the hallway, right? So
Yeah, that's
then
where I
he
met
was,
him. That was my reference point.
he was sitting down in a chair, and he's like, okay, let's go take a picture. And like he never stood up. I'm like, how about let's switch places? Let me sit in the chair, and you get behind me with those shears, like you give me a haircut. Like, okay, you know.
Did he
You
do
wouldn't
it?
do it?
No, he did it, but I felt that he was in pain the whole time. You know, it's like, it was like a chore
really?
for him to get out of the chair. So yeah, so
Was he
he did it,
nice? Was he like
yeah,
personable?
he wasn't talkative, but he was willing to do that at least to humor me with that. So
Gotcha. Well, the thing
good.
is they were both about the same price, and that's why I kind of
Mhm.
talked to Johnny about it, because I know Johnny knows, like, met a lot of wrestlers and knows wrestling really well, better than me.
I think Johnny is correct. I think Jimmy Hart is fun, like funner than Brutus.
Gotcha. Yeah. So he might. I think they mentioned in the contract too that he would do a panel, and that might be fun to sit and watch him
Oh, that's cool.
talk with
That's
an
cool, yeah.
audience. But we got to figure that out if we can do panels this year or not.
I wish I could be there.
Dude, I wish you could too. I
I
wish you
know.
weren't leaving that. You're leaving that Saturday, right, to go to San
Yep,
Diego?
the 20th. Yeah. And I booked my flight so long ago, Keith, before you even set your date.
Yeah, I know. I knew we would lose you with that date, but like I was like,
It's okay, dude. It's all good. I just
for the show it works better, you know.
It's rare that I'm able to make it to a plastic city, so I enjoy when I do. You know.
Nice. Well, we'll see how this year goes with the hotel, you know, and then if we
I
can,
hope it's a good show for everybody.
I hope so too, and I hope they like us there. The thing that too is like we're definitely down spaces than we were at Game On, so it's like I think we Game On we had about 270 tables, and I think it's going to drop down to about probably about maybe 160 or something like that. So we're losing about 100 tables from the last convention, you know. And I kind of hated losing Game On. It's a nice place to do a show, but I just them charging for parking is kind of like a deal breaker for us, you know. So we just had to go, you know.
So definitively, just by sheer numbers, the fact that you have fewer tables, and if you retain the same amount of audience that comes through to the show, guarantee it's a one-day show, so people who come up will shop. You're going to do well. Anybody who goes to Plastic City this year, you will do well.
Yeah, I think like it's a lot tighter. We'll have, hopefully we'll be able to do. See, that's where I'm wondering if I should do panels or not, because I wonder if I could, if instead of doing panels, make that room another room with vendors, you know.
So here's the thing with panels, though, right? You're a one-day show, and panels pull people out of the floor.
Yeah,
now,
that's
on
what I
the
was
flip
thinking.
side, it keeps people at the show. So, like, if you've done like a fair share of walking around, maybe like one panel or two panels after the noontime hour might be beneficial to keep the morning people still there. Yeah. And then maybe second guess, buy something on the way out the door. But keep it minimum, because you're a one-day show anyway.
Yeah.
You don't want to pull your audience away from your vendors.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've been to conventions where they are a one-day show, but the panels start exactly at like when the show opens, and they go right till the show ends, and there's no like, if you're going to all those panels, you're not seeing anything on the floor, you know. It's just
So one of the things that they do, Sam does in Saratoga, is that he schedules legacy panels that have a guaranteed attendance in the morning. So people who love that panel will show up no matter what, and then they'll enjoy the show after. So, like, for example, he has it's a fencing class with lightsabers, and it's Coach Moses, and he, believe it or not, he gets a full panel every single time because kids love to learn how to swing a lightsaber.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's how they start their Saratoga Comic Con, is that they do the fencing panel and then they go right into the show.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of hoping. I wish the one reason I wish you could be there, Johnny, is so you could do sketch off, because I think that would be a
fun.
huge hit over there, at the show.
Yeah, maybe
next
2025.
What's that? What's that, Harry?
Can we get a Johnny like a standee, like a cardboard stand-up?
Oh, that'd be a great idea. A little too egotistical, but a great idea.
Yeah.
Actually, no, don't do that, because that'll just become target practice by the end of the day. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I wouldn't allow that. I wouldn't allow anyone to do that.
It'd have to be roped off.
Yeah.
Certain people would come by and just light it ablaze. So don't do it.
No, I don't. I think people would take pictures with it, if anything.
Yeah, right.
Maybe. Oh God.
There's some more comments coming in. Jared said he's coming. Yeah, we worked it out. Jared's gonna be there.
Nice.
Be great.
Nice.
Sucks that you're not gonna be there, Johnny.
I know. I'm sending Jared in my place.
Yeah, there you go. Dr. Mask said, "No, Johnny, we riot."
Thank you, Dr. Mask. Appreciate it, my man.
Amy says 1-3 o'clock Jimmy Hart panel. Maybe.
Boom! There you go. Done. Amy, you nailed it.
1-2 p.m. Jimmy Hart panel.
Oh, 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
Or maybe
2 p.m. is probably better, I'd say.
Yeah, because you don't want to maybe he'll need a break between meeting
it's
fans.
An after lunch
stuff,
panel.
Yeah. Well, he's 80. You gotta give him a.
He said he'll be loud and laugh.
Perfect sub in for me. Loud and laugh a lot. That's it.
That's great. And I know you guys, Joe and Steve, you guys was Plastic City last year your first show ever? Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was our first convention.
No kidding. How was your experience at the show? Because I think I got to see you guys for a minute, as I was running around that day, but I never get to talk to anybody when the show's going on because I'm being pulled in a million directions.
Oh yeah.
But how was the show for you guys?
You want to go, Joe?
I mean, what could you say, man? A good convention, Good
Awesome.
people, good sales, good times, really.
Awesome. That's good. That's the one thing. Like the show, we try to bring it in as just comics and we try to avoid all the crap that a lot of the bigger shows are doing, where the artist kind of loses at those shows because they're kind of buried behind everything else, behind all the celebrities, all the everything else that's going on,
all the life-size Space Marines.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think you guys are in the middle somewhere, right? What's that?
Yeah, that's what I told Joe when we first decided. We're like, hey, let's just try one convention this year. Just try it. And I was like, if we're going to do one, we got to look at something that, is going to be, good for what we got, because we're just a digital publication, at the time. So
did you guys print out copies of the book to sell?
Yeah, we did.
Were you there to just promote it?
No, we were selling copies as well as
cool.
merchandise as well, like bookmarks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Awesome! Yeah, that's
we had these great fake postcards, like visit Astro City, and you see our characters there.
Yeah, that's great.
We did one where our superhero, the Wing, he's a parody of Batman, and the picture is him showing a photograph of this hippie supervillain to this old woman.
Yeah,
and that same supervillain is in the background, robbing the same store right behind him. You can see they're there.
Yeah,
and then on the back of it, I wrote what the Wing was saying, to whom it may concern, please do not trust this supervillain. His brownies are not to be trusted, and stuff like
that.
Yeah. That's great. Well, that's good. And did it inspire you guys to do more shows now?
So we've got 2 that were planned. Of course, we're going to make a return to Plastic City this year.
Awesome.
And then we actually picked up a sponsor who's sponsoring us to go out to Veteran Comic-Con, and that ran last November. We're waiting for the registration to open up, but that should be coming out this November as well. And so,
cool.
Me being a veteran and my sponsor being a veteran, that just kind of clicked right there. It was like, okay, that's a really good deal to get into.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, no,
so thank you for your service. Is that so veteran? So it's a Comic-Con where everybody that's vending are veterans of some sort. Oh
yeah,
wow,
all
that's
the
awesome.
cosplayers, all the artists, all that. They're
kidding.
veterans.
How have you heard of this?
Cool.
I've never heard of this until right now, right this
the most
second.
badass convention you could find.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
So let me ask you: when you were actually serving, was there a strong like comic community? Were you guys swapping issues of comics and stuff, or was it kind of like?
For me, there really wasn't. I was infantry and airborne, so we're like out there. To put it in place, like we're talking about Transformers, right? I was in Iraq when Transformers came out, so it's like all this stuff is like out in the ether. And it was funny because I was an avid comic reader. And so when we would get the bootleg DVDs from like the Haji Martin stuff, everybody would go to me and be like, okay, give us like the down low on all these like superheroes. And so we can follow the story.
Oh, wow.
You were the go-to guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember, I think back to high school, and I remember like, because I was kind of friends with every group. I was friends with the jocks. I was friends with like the nerds. I was friends with the shop kids. And I remember like jocks coming to me going, so can Magneto really tilt the world off of his axis? I'm like, yes, let me tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just to show you too that people are kind of like, well, back then like comics weren't cool, but there was still people knew about them, like, and conversations like that.
It was all that kind of stuff. People saw, they were like, oh, Jessica Alba, she's going to be, freaking Sue Storm. And they don't care about Sue Storm and her background. They just know Jessica Alba. And they're like, oh, yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Veterans Con, that sounds cool. I'll have to look that up later and just see like what how big is it? A big show? Do you know? Or is it like...
I haven't been. It seemed like it was pretty big, and they posted up last year, that they had a successful convention. So I'm hoping this year, we'll go out and see what that's like.
Yeah, I love the idea of it. Like, I love that they, like it's in the veterans take care of you, other veterans, and bring you guys in. And what a great idea. Like, and you feel good about giving your money to veterans, for comics and stuff, so that's great. I love that. Great idea.
I put
so there's like a lot of Captain Americas. Sorry.
Was that Harry?
No, I was just wondering if there's a lot of Captain America cosplay and G.I. Joe cosplay, or is it very veteran?
Probably all these patriotic
on one
heroes.
of their dudes, they've got they got one of the guys, he's up there in like a 40K Warhammer outfit and all that. Somebody was doing the Juggernaut. So,
oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they have the I guess the 501st Legion came out, the Stormtrooper cosplayer guys.
Oh, cool. Yep.
That's very cool. I just had a thought, Keith.
Yeah.
So why not have a either reduced rate or veterans come in for free at Plastic City?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Because I don't want to speak to giving. Hey, Caden Phoenix, we were next to her at
I was next to her
San Diego Special Edition.
Yep. Wow.
But just the thought process with veterans are free. They would be free, but they'd have to bring their families typically, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe non-veteran friends. And then that in turn would promote more sales of tickets, right?
Yeah, it's something to think about, like
I don't know. What do you think, Stephen?
Oh, heck yeah.
As a veteran, if you saw something that was like, hey, I can get into this thing for free, would you want to come with me? Would you do that?
It's the same idea, when they do Veterans Day and Memorial Day and stuff like that, even though, like the Applebee's, they'll give you a free meal for showing up, and then you're still going to buy your family, you got a wife, kids, all this, other people coming in. So you're going to buy them all the stuff, and then you're probably going to get a drink too, so it's, but that small little thing is enough to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't have anything going on this weekend. Why not?
Maybe go check it out kind of thing. Yeah.
Just an idea.
Let me think about that. It might be something to do,
Run the numbers, Keith, just because, you never know. You know what I mean?
Things. Yeah, definitely. I got to well, the budget this year is a little smaller because of the drop in tables. Because like I build my budget based around all the vendor fees and things like that. So just see what we have after bringing in Jimmy Hart and stuff, and
Sure.
because like the real money is usually made at the admission. So I'm just gonna make sure we're not hurting ourselves,
For sure.
But yeah, maybe we could do even something like a discount or something,
Yeah.
maybe not even free, but like maybe a half price or,
Yeah.
25% off or something.
Just an idea.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be good. It could work, so, but yeah, no, so that's exciting,
The difference, it's the difference for me going to Home Depot or Lowe's. Home Depot's got a 10% veteran discount. Lowe's, you've got to sign up and then do all this like weird stuff to get their veteran discount. Home Depot, you just walk right in. You're like, hey, I'm a veteran. Show your card. They're like, here's your 10%. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to Home Depot.
Yeah, whoever makes it easier, right?
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Convenience.
That's cool. Awesome. So yeah, you guys said you're doing a couple more shows this year, and are you also gonna have more books? I know you said you're up to what, 5 or 6 issues of
6, right?
Tales of Nihilism. Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
six is going to be dropping at the end of February here, February 28th.
Nice.
And that first main issue, we've got like 8 series run, so we're getting towards the end of it now.
Okay.
Following Phil's story, we're definitely like leading up to the climax and getting full, insane with it.
Oh, very cool. And are you guys
very violent?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Now, are you guys? Is this like? Are you doing like? Is it like a multi-issue? Is it an ongoing, or is it like a limited run? Like, are you going to finish at a certain number, or
we basically do like different volumes of it right now. So
Okay.
the current like first volume is issues 1 through 8.
Okay.
We're doing kind of spin-offs of it. Like we've been following a sort of Superman type character for I think has both issues dropped yet or just one of them?
Just one, yeah. Yeah, but we'll be dropping the new one this year. With the whole premise is, you have the CIA, they're hunting down Superman, and not because they know he's Superman, it's because his like Clark Kent persona is really good at journalism and undercovering like government secrets and stuff like that, and so they need to assassinate Clark Kent, or at least
But they don't know he's Superman.
Yeah,
so
they don't know
that's why he keeps evading them.
Oh, that's funny.
I like that. That's a great concept.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, because they always make Clark Kent seem like a really bad reporter and stuff, and you're just like, how does he even like stay at the Daily Planet? He sucks at his job.
Yeah, like how is he not fired? Yeah.
Exactly.
Lead is very good. Yeah, X-ray vision is great for journalism.
Yeah, right. No, it's a great idea. That's like a like finding like something different in that like character that's been around for like 100 years or so. That's great. That's a great idea. I like that. And so now is like Tales of Nihilism going to be like your title and that's it? Like you can just do different stories within the banner of Tales of Nihilism? Is that how it's going to work?
Essentially our studio.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I gotcha. So it's like the main title and then you can just do anything under it, right?
Yeah. So
we do like Funnies of Nihilism.
What'd you say, Joe?
We do like Funnies of Nihilism. We've done like short stories,
Kind of like Dark Horse Presents.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like you can get anything out of that. It could be The Mask, Predator. It could be what I mean. There's so many different Hellboy. There's so many different characters could show up.
Yeah. So like our outline that we've been working that's worked out pretty well for us is we have like the main series that's going on, and that's like 8 issues. And then every other month we'll release a short story or we'll release comic strips. And that gives us a chance to like just kind of branch out, clear our heads. We'll get, the short stories may or may not tie into what's going on with the main story. Or it just may be something that we both work together and we're like, hey, let's come up with something new to, fresh our brains out and get the creative juices going. And that way we have that like anthology that stays like consistent and kind of like on brand, but then we're also able to branch out as well.
I like that. It's fresh, you know. Do you guys primarily just release online right now, or?
Yes.
Primarily, we have a set up a print on demand thing. I forget exactly what site that was though.
You can still find it on Global Comix. So that's one of the features that Global Comix worked on last year, and it's pretty good. You can work with a print on demand website and put that link in your Global Comix comic, and then they just click on that and they can start buying issues straight from your comic.
Oh, very cool. So like they'll put like a code in the, like when you're reading it digitally, you just click on it and you can get, oh wow, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Is that all through Global Comix or is it through another site?
Yeah, you get if you're a creator, I think you get your first like 5 free, and then after that you have to sign up for a pro subscription.
Okay.
But you know, hey, it's something like $60 a quarter or something like that. So, you know, if you're out there really selling on it, that might be a good idea for you. We're just now testing the waters for it.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did you know that, Johnny? That they did Global does a print on demand thing?
Yeah,
it's
fairly new.
Yeah, it's going to be a game changer because, you know, you think of all the people that we reached out to trying to look for an honest to God print on demand place. They're non-existent. You have to purchase and have like, you know, all this stock available before you can even start thinking about doing print on demand with them. You know, they're like, you have to have 100 copies. You have to have like your business plan and all this. Nope. Global Comix is like, hey, you find somebody, like we're working through, I think it's Mix'em Prints right now, or, you know, some people do Vista and other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just put your hyperlink right there and you can print on demand if they like your copy.
Wow. That's
we also have Comics Wellspring.
Yeah.
Has an online storefront. So you could technically link those two together, and that's where you get your print on demand.
Yeah.
Like I thought, didn't Comics Wellspring change though? Like that you have to order like 25 copies now or something.
But they have an online storefront, which effectively is a print on demand.
Oh, like their Indie Planet thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay.
So Ben Taz did Indie Planet for his book.
Okay. Who's Ben again?
And like
Freedom Edge.
Freedom Edge. Okay. Yeah.
We went through Comics Wellspring to get our physical copies that we did for Plastic City, and they do a bang up job. The quality was amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, Tony's great.
Would you go through Comics Wellspring?
Wellspring. Yep.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's my printer now too. For
I love those guys.
Yeah, those guys have been great for a long time, and they're getting better and better. I still haven't heard from their podcast guy though. I'll have to reach out again. I was trying to get
the only thing they need to work on is the merch. So we, you know, with our postcards and our bookmarks and stuff like that, they came back and they were really, you know, the first prints that we got weren't up to quality. And I was able to contact the customer service and they really quickly, like, you know, fixed them for us. But I think it was one of them that they couldn't fix due to the time, you know, constraints that we were going to be showing up to Plastic City. But, you know, the comics came out perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, Darkstream is saying he just got an email that they moved, upgrading their facility, he says. Also, Elizabeth Roberts said, never been to Plastic City. Maybe I'll venture out this time. That'd be nice.
Nice.
And she says, Johnny, been told to tell you, shut up, ugly coffee guy, of course, with so much love. I don't know what that means.
Her daughter likes to sass me. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Don't worry. Karma will boomerang back at her. She's a teenage girl. High school's going to be a bitch.
Who would ever sass Johnny? That's
you know.
Yeah, it happens.
Speaking of karma, I want one of my friends, dad passed away, but he was like, he's not, he was 93, so he lived a long life. But anyway, on Saturday they had like a celebration of life type thing, and my friend, I was thinking about going, but my friend Jim didn't want to go by himself. So he said, Harry, you got to go with me. I'm like, all right, sure, because we grew up with this kid. You know, he was a good friend of ours growing up, and he's from Taiwan, so his family's from Taiwan, and he was a sergeant in the army. Like he was like in the tank battalion.
Wow.
So anyway, so there was this guy that came in towards the end. Well, we're only there we're supposed to be there in and out. 30 minutes in and out, say a few things, and then like leave. Like perfect. Sounds good to me because I hate those things. I hate like sad events. So
of course,
this
no one
kid,
loves those.
I know this kid comes in. Kind of bigger guy. Whatever, and like
sad events like conventions in Boxborough.
Yes, kind of like that. But
just want to double check.
But I try to make things fun though. But you know me though. I'm very socially awkward. I should never leave my house. But I went with my friend to this thing, and this kid's like looking at me. He's like, Harry. I'm like, yeah. He's like, Harry, right? I'm like, yes. Like you are. He's like, oh, I'm Jeremy. I'm like, Jeremy. He gave me his last name. Like, and he was like a bully back in the day. Like a jerk.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't really care to talk to him much. I'm like, I'm like, so anyway, how's it going? How are you? He's like, well, my back is dust and my hips are breaking apart. I'm like falling apart. I'm like, and I'm like half listening to him. And I'm like half looking at, my, other people walking around, and my friend left me like to fend for myself, and I'm like, and then and I'm half listening to this guy. And I'm like, after he just got done saying that his back's falling apart and his hips falling apart, I'm like, oh, that's good. And he said, like, no, it's not good. It's not good. It's like, I'm really in bad shape. I'm like, oh, what I meant was, it's good that you let me know so I won't pat you in the back on the way out, So it's good that you told me.
Awesome backpedaling on that one, Harry.
The point of my story is, karma. He's like a real, jerk back in the day, but like now he's like, completely falling
now he's
apart,
hurt.
Which, yeah, seriously. And so I was like, what am I saying right now? Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, that's people's go-to responses when they're not listening.
I know, really. I know. Like, yeah, sure, it's great.
I've done that my handful of times. I know that for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Amy says Johnny loves sass, and then Elizabeth says it's hilarious when you're watching them go at it. I'll have to see that sometime.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a 43-year-old man shred a teenage girl verbally?
No, but I want to. That's fantastic. Awesome. But yeah, so back to Tales of Nihilism. So what's the new issue going to be about? Like, are you guys continuing the Superman storyline, or?
No, this is the what we've called the Ballad of Philip Kirshner, and so his whole story, the imagine of it is that it's what it's like to live in a world full of superheroes if you're a normal person. And so so he's going in there and trying to drive off to work, and like there's a traffic jam because there's superheroes fighting on the freeway. He ends up like losing his job, loses his girlfriend, the apartment is like power's going out, all that kind of stuff. And it's just like how crazy it would actually be to live in that world and society.
I like that. Like, I like when when creators take like the normal person approach to a world of superheroes. I love that stuff. Like, there's just been some great stories using that kind of storyline. I mean, Marvel's was great from like the everyman perspective.
They also did a story called Powerless. Like alternate reality where all the heroes were, transported to basically live normal lives without powers and to kind of feel like they were meant for greater, but never actually kind of get there. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. I like that. And did you guys ever read, like, there was a comic from DC? It was very short-lived. It was called Major Bummer. Did you ever read that book?
No, I hadn't.
No.
It's great.
The concept was hilarious. So it was like these aliens that wanted to experiment on, like a normal world, and introduce like superpowers and super villains and stuff. So the aliens were kind of idiotic. They picked out the perfect candidate to get the superpower, but what they didn't know is that on Earth, when you look at the phone book, the last name is first instead of the first name. So they give the powers to the totally wrong person. It ends up being like this slacker, lazy, hippie kind of kid, and who doesn't want to do anything. Hero. What's that?
Right.
I wish they would hero.
I wish they would make it. I wish there would be a remake of that show. That was a great show.
So the kid gets the superpowers, and the hook is that like he doesn't want to do any superheroic thing. He just wants to sleep and play video games. But they put something in the thing that gives him superheroes that attracts villains to him. So he's forced into action sometimes. Really funny stuff, and it didn't last long, because comedy comics usually don't. But I love the concept of that, So,
it's called Major Bum because of the bums are picked, or because they inject the serum in the bum. How does that?
No, Major Bummer. It was called Major Bummer. To get
to be in Harry's mind while he's trying to figure that one out. He's like, so good. Their bum?
Yeah, right.
I was just saying, I found my copy of Powerless.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, awesome book, great artwork. Kind of very down to earth. I mean, this was a panel that showed they hire Sabretooth as a soldier of fortune to track down Logan, who's a vigilante.
Yeah.
So they're still kind of like doing hero-y things, even though it's in the realm of grounded reality. And I thought that was like my fascinating thing about this book. I love that kind of stuff. Sounds like you guys kind of have the same story in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I'm trying to find an image of Major Bummer so I can show it to you guys.
Has nothing to do with suppositories, Harry.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I guess where we kind of like branch off and differentiate is, we don't really give quarter to the whole, hero and villain aspect of this thing. Even if you get into something like, The Watchmen, we're still like giving credence and, that leverage to all these superheroes that exist in that world. They're saying like, they're bad people, and they have like, these personality defaults and things like that. Or even like The Boys, you have the superheroes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not really like a societal reaction to these things that exist. Or if it is, it's like in the background, so you don't really ever get to see like what that perspective's like from being that type of NPC, if you will. And that's kind of like where I wanted to take this, is like, okay, we're going to have an NPC in this world. You have to exist. You have to survive. What is that really like? Because if you think about just how messed up it is in normal society, if your car gets totaled once, do you have enough money to pay, the premium on your insurance? What if that happens every week because the Hulk smashes your car?
I love that. It's such a funny concept that like I'm shocked no one's done it before. You know what I mean?
Little things, just like, so this is a why is the real estate in this area so cheap? Well, it's a superhero heavy zone. You know what I mean? Like just putting that kind of casual vernacular into a story. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And like I've been through hurricanes in the South, and I've lived where like, my entire condo's wall got ripped out, and it took months for, them to rebuild that. And then you think, okay, if this is almost like superhero level destruction, what if you had to go through this like on a monthly basis?
But the difference here is that the world is being saved.
I almost kind of found that concept funny of the Incredible Hulk, the TV show, because like, I'm an adult male, and I haven't gotten beat up in so long, But this guy got beat up twice an hour every week.
Always at the half-hour mark too.
Right, it's always like
perfectly timed.
20 past the hour and then 10 of the hour every episode.
This is the Major Bummer comic, the first in-action hero.
First in action hero.
But that's him. He gets like
super
the power.
jacked.
Yeah,
Super jacked. That's the power, but he's super lazy too,
Mhm.
which is great. It's such a great book. It was like 15 issues. It's awesome. I recommend it if you guys are looking for something funny.
yeah.
I also remember he had like a team of people. Like there was like a cat lady that got superpowers but she was old, and like her power was clairvoyance, like she could see into the future. But she often got it confused because she was old and had a little bit of dementia. So she couldn't tell if she was seeing the future or if she was having like a dementia, It was just such funny stuff. Like I was like, kind of like Tick level kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And like I think that's another one that kind of bends the superhero genre really nicely,
Oh,
but
heck yeah.
I love stuff like that. So I love what you fellas are doing,
Yeah. I kind of wanted to mix it with that, with like the feeling of the Falling Down movie, where things just like completely spiral out of control, and that whole world.
I like how that movie escalates too.
Yeah, it does.
Just like the pressure just keeps building and building and building, and like it just kind of takes it to the next level. And every scene is a new scenario where he's just surrounded by madness.
Yeah,
and how it reverberates back to him. Like when he goes into the pawn shop and he deals with the racist gun owner guy, like that stuff. And it's like things that trigger him and cause him to.
Yeah, it's wild too how he like
tied into like the mundane on how like absurd a lot of like reality really is, and it's just the whole like cheeseburger scene where he's sitting there and he's like, I just want a cheeseburger that looks like what's on the picture that you have right there, and they're just like giving him this smashed shitty cheeseburger.
Well, I love too how it skirts like sometimes you see him as a hero and sometimes you see him as a villain. Like the whole movie is like that. Like, it walks this line where it's like sometimes you're rooting for him and other times you're like, God, this guy's awful. Like, it's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, our boy Phil, he goes all over the place. Like he's broken after the first issue, basically, and he totally unravels all the conspiracies of how the superhero system works. And he's like, what happens if I just tear it up a little bit? And then issue by issue, the whole city is like burning down by our next issue coming up.
I like that. That's awesome. It's
you were
fun,
saying,
man, to like do stuff like that.
The character Phil, you were saying on the last show you were on, he never gets a break, or he can catch a break or whatever. That's the kind of character he is, or
that's how he definitely starts off in that vein. He's trying to go to work. He's always late because of superhero stuff. The apartment, all of that. And then once he like checks out, then it's kind of like, okay, now it's like the world's your oyster, and what are you going to do with that? And then he definitely walks that line of like, he's not a hero, but he's also not a villain, and he's just like, the world is so crazy, how am I not supposed to be crazy with it?
I like that.
Do
you guys write the book together? What'd you say, Johnny?
No, it's Joseph. Ash.
I was just gonna say it's kind of like Mark Millar's Wanted.
Yeah, that was another one
where like it's kind of like
it's like a world that's got no. Was it just? It's all super villains, right? They killed all the superheroes. And then like it's just like that one kid learning about his father's legacy.
And even the movie was kind of like blurring the lines between good guys and bad guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It was good stuff. They also brought that back. I don't know, Johnny, if you read the big game that Mark Millar just did, the big crossover.
I heard about it, but I never read it. I wanted to check that out.
No, okay. It was good. It was like it's the main guy from Wanted. I forget what his name is, but it's like him wanting to clean up the world again because all these new superheroes are popping up, and that's like so it crosses over all the Millar stuff, like Magic Order, Superior, Nemesis, all those books.
We kind of got like a little in that vein where Phil, he's like, he accidentally kills a supervillain because he's sitting there on issue 2 and he's in traffic and he's just freaking out in his car, and he's going to be late for a job interview. So he's like, here we are, living in Groundhog Day, and he just
Oh my god.
yeah, and he's just like, screw it. So he opens his door, and as he opens his door, the supervillain runs into the glass in his door and kills himself. And then he's just like, wait a minute, like now he's not a problem anymore. And then he starts to like go through this like philosophical and mental breakdown, and he finally is like, you know what? It's not just the supervillains, it's superheroes too. They both are this plague on society,
Yeah, so they're like
funny
treated equally as like that's great. What'd you say, Harry?
It's funny that you just mentioned Phil and Groundhog Day. I just showed my friend. I went over to my friend's house over the weekend, and her little kids had never seen that movie. So we're trying to find a movie to watch that we can all agree on. I'm like, let's watch Groundhog Day because we just had that, And you forget how amazing that movie is. You know what I mean? It's like great movie. But I meant to ask you.
Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
Phil?
Love that guy.
So I was going to ask Stephen and Joseph, how did you guys get started in drawing for Stephen and writing for Joseph? I don't think I heard that last time on the show. Did you guys have any influences? Stephen and
yeah. So I mean,
either one. You guys can go.
I've been drawing since I could hold a pencil and doodling and all that. I've never taken any like college courses or art classes and stuff like that. The closest thing that I got to classwork is when I was in elementary school. I picked up that Stan Lee book, How to Draw Marvel Comics, and like from cover to cover, just did every piece of that, until I could do all the artwork in there just how I was seeing it. And I would make stories and things like that, but I kind of left a lot of it when I joined the military, and it was like a piece of myself that I just kind of left alone. And once I got out of the military in 2017, I was like, man, I've got all these ideas in my head. I've got a lot of stuff that I need to get out, a lot of cathartic things that I need to work through. Why not go back to this part of my life? Because it's always been, a piece of me. Even in the military, I'm sitting there doodling half the time. If somebody's like, hey, we need you to draw up a map, or we need somebody to make a sand table. There's the creative guy. Have him come over, do all this kind of stuff. I was like drawing a combat monkey on my gunner shield, all this kind of. So it just, once I got out, I was like, I don't just want to like paint and draw and do that. I want to tell a story with the art. And then it's like, okay, sequential art, comics, go into that. And then it's like, well, what do I want to say? And then while doing that's where I found Joe, and he's a great writer, and he helps, refine and do the script and all the lettering, and just amazing work on that.
Sounds like the gold digger creator.
That's cool.
Jared said. Yeah, definitely.
I liked that it was like you said, you're working through like catharsis, and it was kind of it was therapeutic for you even, and it's beautiful that you were able to take that and transition it into an art form, and then in turn into a business.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of Phil's stories is a lot of personal experience. I've been there, where you're just trying to like make it through life. You're trying to get that next job, or you just got fired, or you got laid off because of COVID. This kind of crazy stuff going on. I've been through all these things, and it was like, okay, let's formulate and push that into a story and use this comic book medium to tell these kind of stories.
That's the best way to do a story, I think, is to like channel your real life experiences into a character, or, like I'd love to see like you do something with your military experience. Or do you do anything with that with Tales of Nihilism, or?
Not with Tales. Right now I'm doing I do a it's not a comic, but it's like an illustration that I run for a veteran magazine, and I work under the pen name Salty Skipper. And so I illustrate like dirty army cadences and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's great. And then how did you guys meet? Like, did you were you in the military, Joe, or?
Well, actually, no. But that is essentially part of my own origin story, so to speak. Like, I honestly didn't really have the most personal upbringing, so I had a lot of solace coming from, video games and cartoons a lot. That stuff was like my whole life, And while I did spend a pretty hefty period feeling kind of lost, it was that sort of stuff that kept me going towards like, there's definitely something in this world that's worthwhile, more or less. It's like, this is always worth it for some reason. I don't need to know the reason. It is worthwhile. And I was trying all different kinds of things in college, like 3D animation, video game design, and they had a comic book class in college. And that was the one that was like, holy shit, this is incredible.
I would have killed for that class when I was a
man. It's just like here to art. It's like that works really well. And that was the first time I bought textbooks for a class by choice and read supplemental material because like this is fucking fascinating.
Yeah, when you find like that thing that clicks with you. Yeah, no, definitely.
What did they teach you in the class? What did they teach you? Just can you give us like an idea of what the curriculum was like?
Of course, yeah. They skipped right over the writing, ironically. So a lot of students were not exactly confident in their stories, but they told you the actual comic book stuff about it. So like page flow, paneling, all the terms. Of course, they go into Eisner and all that, Yeah. It's like, how do you make sure that like you know exactly how to tell this with as few images as possible and still be exciting to the reader?
Yep. Yeah, it's this kind of stuff we would learn at Kubert School too. Like we'd have classes, but it wouldn't just be comic stuff though. It would be like figure drawing, where you draw somebody, and then other times like we'd have a whole lesson just on perspective, and then other times it'd be draw, like the assignment would be draw a comic book page, but also make this stuff happen in it, that kind of thing. What were you gonna say, Joe?
We would have like things of like how do you get like an action across? It's like if a character is closing their eyes need to be seen open and then seen closed. You can't do like a halfway sort of thing because that's all that tells you.
Right.
It's all about translating it to just the panels. Like this is not an animation class. This is comic books.
Right. It's like the key is always trying to find that snapshot of the action. Like like that's why I always like when someone asks how you make a page, and I always try to tell them to look at like storyboards from movies and stuff, and like because those are essentially our comics, and they kind of show the director like the different points of the action that they got to hit, whereas comics, that's all you have is those images, so it's not like a moving picture. So I don't know. It's always tough to try to explain that to somebody that doesn't know how to do it, but that's the best way I try to illustrate it for them, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
that's
funny. My little nephew, like last week, I was over there on Wednesday. He was telling me that he wrote a comic book in school, like he's in first grade. And he's like cool. Showing me his comic. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. It's like Harry, Uncle Harry. Can we make one too? Can you and I make a comic book? I'm like, all right. Like, what do you want to write about? He's like, all right. So it's about the Mandalorian, and he's leaving his home planet, and he's going to another planet to go beat the bad guy. I'm like, no. Like, time out. Let's pick something that's not already done. That's like everybody knows the Mandalorian right now. So let's think of a different kind of story. I'm like, so start again. I think of a story. It's like, okay, so Mandalorian leaves the planet again. I'm like, no Mandalorian. Like, stop the middle. Like, how about we make up a story and make one up? Like, be unique, be different. You know what unique means? He's like, yeah, being doing something for the first time. Like, exactly right. So let's make up a story. Think of a story. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, so what do you like to do? I'm like, and he loves playing sports. I was like, well, I love basketball and Michael Jordan. I'm like, all right, you always write about Michael Jordan and basketball, so none of that. How about something else? He's like, I like tennis. I like soccer. I like pickleball. Pickleball, good. All right, let's pick pickleball. So what about pickleball? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, so in my head, I'm trying to make up a story to show him what I'm talking about. All right, yeah. How about in this story, you have no friends? He's like, what? I have friends. Like, no, I know you do, but in the story you don't. This is a pretend story. In the first picture, you have no friends, and you're standing in the pickleball court with no friends to play with. And all of a sudden, maybe a spaceship comes, and an alien comes out and is wondering why you're crying. And you're saying that you're showing him, telling him you have no friends to play pickleball with, and the alien has no idea what pickleball is. So you're showing him the rules for pickleball. And then the alien sees your lunchbox, your Michael Jordan lunchbox. He's like, what's in there? And a pickle falls out. And then he takes his ray gun and zaps the pickle, and it turns into like an adult-sized pickle. And he comes to life. And his name is Dylan. And now you got a friend to play pickleball with. He's like, oh my God, then what happens? Like, exactly. Right. That's how it works,
Harry just rebooted ET for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And then this character comes in called the Dandelion.
Right. Dandelion, right.
And they go to another planet, but
right,
not for that
like
reason. Like,
right. A completely different reason altogether. A completely different. Right.
So good.
Right.
That's great.
No, so after we did that, we drew the first page of the comic, and then I left. The next day, he's like, my sister calls me, or she texts me. He's like, Harry, Ethan wants you to come back over again and finish the book with him. I'm like, all right, tell him I'll be over soon. So I'm glad he at least got the.
You got the creative juices flowing for the kid, which is good.
Right,
you pointed him in the right path.
Right, exactly.
We should bring in the Plastic City. It'd be probably a good show for some.
Yeah, I'll see if
his age and stuff.
Yeah. You get him started with Tales of Nihilism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, is it age appropriate, guys, or is it like kind of more? Okay.
Oh, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so, but I thought I'd ask.
Yeah. I mean, we've got everything in there from supervillains that look like a dominatrix nun to just all kinds of things going on.
That's very wholesome.
That's for Uncle Harry, I think.
Yeah. That's great. And then I just wanted to let people know too, they can get. Are you guys still offering Tales of Nihilism for free on Global Comix website?
So the first issue is free, and then
I'll put the link in the chat for everybody if they want to check it out.
Check it out right there.
Yeah, and our comic strips that we drop are free as well. You can purchase a PDF if you want. They have that option on there, so we just put it up to do that.
Now, is that the part you were talking about, the print on demand, or is that just the PDF?
That's just the PDF. So
just the PDF. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have the print on demand for the comic strips for the funnies, but for the actual issues, you can purchase those print on demand.
Oh, right here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, very cool.
Well, we did that initially before they set it up with the deal. So now you can actually go into the comic, click on it, and there should be a link.
Oh, wow. So if I go, if I read this.
Well, those are the short stories. I think.
Oh, okay. Which one would I go into to see that?
You go up to comics.
Okay.
And then the Ballad of Philip Kirshner.
The left one?
Yep.
This one?
Yep.
All right.
And then,
all right.
Yeah.
Go all the way to the end.
And I think if you just click in the middle of the page, it gives you like the options. Like there
you
go. All the stuff comes up. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, wow. Okay. Right? Look at that QR code. Mm-hmm. Everything. Wow, love Global Comix. There's a reason why I said this was the future of indie comic publishing. Right here, digitally. This is the platform.
That's great, man.
And we really need more people to get on this, as a whole community, because they also they kind of went a little crazy last year, and they partnered with like Image and Archie Comics and all these guys, and these guys are just throwing up their entire
catalogs, yeah.
And it's like, come on, man, like we got the little guys. This was working for us,
Well, the hopes I always thought with these guys was because people have to buy a subscription to read everything, or How's that work, like, Johnny? You get a certain amount, you pay a certain amount, and you can read as much as you want, or
well, the promo, they gave us a really good promo when they came on the site, and it was a year's worth of the unlimited reading, and I think the promo was like $50 or something like that. Normally it's 75 or something, but great. I've used it a few times, especially for people whose books I wanted to check out, or even just like, I see that you've been releasing the books on there, Keith, so I've been trying to like them as they they pop up. Just, and it's tough, like you mentioned, Steve, it's like, oh, the little guy, we're getting washed out there. Hopefully what it'll do is it'll attract more readers.
Yeah.
And then in turn, they may discover you, right? As opposed to.
I think right now what it's really good for is your like diehard fan readers. So we don't have a lot of like followers on there. I think we have like 27 followers. But
I followed you guys a few like before we came on.
Yeah, but to date we have 7,000 page reads. So
cool.
Like
That's key.
So and so we have that open, and we even do, when we release new issues, I think we do like 10 free pages out of the 24-page comic. So you get to read like half of it. And if you like it, okay, now you can take your credits and spend it on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you
have the unlimited
PDF. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like Global Comix. I'm glad I own all my properties now, so I was able to put everything up there now. And hopefully, I know we'll see what happens with it, but I'm glad it's up there digitally now, which I didn't have for a long time.
That's one thing I actually almost spaced on, Keith. You should contact them, Eric, the business director there, because they're doing that this year. They're putting up all the comic conventions on there, and so far they only have so far they only have the big ones, like New York Comic Con or LA Comic Con. But it's like, hey, this is an indie comic creator space, and
not a bad idea.
Yeah,
they did that. So I did that last year, and that's when they brought me over the media bundle kit, where it was like a little QR code with a stand. You could snap, business cards with like a little business card holder. Like, they really took care of me. And it was for all, it wasn't just me specifically, it was all indies who registered at the show. They had like a little media kit for them. And it was just so cool. Like, in Global Comix has just been such a supporter for indie creators. And again, I know they're bringing on bigger guys too, and as things progress, but they've been just so there for us indie guys. It's just so awesome. Like, and I've said it from the beginning, I know these guys are going to make a difference, and they have.
Yeah,
it makes a great Sorry, Stephen, I didn't mean to step on you. I was going to say, it makes a great landing page for your digital library. So if you need a place to point people to digitally for your comics, that's the way to go. Global Comix is the way to go. And they don't pay me. I subscribe to it. They don't pay me.
What a testimonial.
I fucking believe in them. That's all. I believe
well,
in
Johnny, remember when we first started the channel, 3-4 years ago now at this point?
They were one of the
and
first
they were like
guests.
the fourth episode they were on as the guests, and you had just met them. They were just starting out too, and look at how far they've come in 4 years.
Right before COVID.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you were singing their praise before they came on the show. I remember you hitting me up and telling me about it.
I was able to upload Sartana #1 from my phone in a bar.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how dope that is.
Yeah, and were you able to do like all the
digitally? Not the panels.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Not all the fun panel stuff like I like to do.
Yeah, but you were able to upload the PDF.
I was able to get a PDF on a site, visible and readable, right there at the bar. They showed me. They sat me down. We got a drink, and they're like, "Watch how cool this is." And they had me sold. And my buddy Jeff Ryder, was like, "These guys aren't going to beat Comixology. That's Amazon." I rest my case.
Yeah, where's Comixology now?
Anybody who's dealt with KDP for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's the difference. You got people that care, and you got Comixology was just like another thing Amazon had, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to go through the whole KDP deal and set it up that way, and it took me 2 days. And then even at the end, they were still like, "Oh, there's so many things wrong with your format. There's all these problems. We can't do this. You got to send it back." And so then I took it down from KDP, and then after we started going on, with Global Comix, and I had better like products, I was like, let me go back to KDP and try again. And they were like, oh yeah, this property here can't be put up anymore. You can't do it. It's just like, all right, guys, screw y'all. This is too much.
Yeah. Now, what's KDP? Is that part of the Comixology thing?
Yeah. So that's Amazon. Anything that you run on the Amazon website, you have to have like their little KDP program to put it in there, and then it has to like reformat everything for them. And then you have to decide, is it going to be Amazon KDP Select, which means you can't put it out anywhere other than there, or is it going to, be general population?
So
Which
I think
like
KDP stands for Kindle Digital Publishing.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But
Like
you have
I
to
think
have their program and then put your files in there, and your files already have to be formatted some weird way, and then they reformat it and then make it a KDP file. It's just so much crap. Like
it sounds like Lowe's again, or whatever.
yeah.
And meanwhile, you can just upload a PDF, TIFF, GIF,
JPEG, yep.
GIF, JPEG, whatever to Global Comix, and they're like, sure, we'll take it.
Yep.
Yeah, that must have been something that they instilled after Comixology got bought by Amazon. Because I remember I uploaded like some of my early books on Comixology, and I didn't have to have that KDP thing. So that was something that came along after.
That was after, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know Comixology, I never got any benefit from there. Never made a ton of money at all on that. Like very little money. In fact, like when I was still with my old publisher, like all our books got pirated from Comixology. So yeah, that sucked, But yeah. I've had nothing but bad experiences with Comixology. So I'm glad to be on Global Comix now. So
Heck
good
yeah.
stuff. But
they did that for us for plastic too. They gave us a sign, 2 signs for Tales of Nihilism, had the little QR code and all that. You're like, oh, okay. Like, shoot.
Oh, Global did that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What, do you just contact them and they would they'll send you stuff like that? Oh,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And
did they mail it out to you?
Yeah, they mailed it out.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they brought it to me in person at New York. They're like, here you go. I was like, oh, this is sweet.
No, we had to mail it out, and we brought it to the convention, and it was like, yeah, if you did the little QR code, you could subscribe straight to our series right there.
Wow. I should probably reach out and grab something from them,
Heck
just
yeah.
to have on the
register
table.
what conventions you're going to be at, and if it's ones that they're at, they will do that for you.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's why these guys are winning, because they care and they're trying to make a difference, I think,
Absolutely.
Yeah, as long as they don't bring Marvel and DC into it, I think we're good.
Even if they did, I think they would be safe because, again, it's a very open, creator-friendly format. I mean, think about it. They have forums.
Yeah.
Comixology didn't have forums. You know what I mean?
It's weird, too. Like, I tried doing there, and I don't know if it works quite correctly, but, like, they have their classified thing, and that thing seems to be off a little bit. I put up a couple ads for, that I'm a letterer for hire and things like that. And I've gotten a couple, like, people trying to contact me, and they'll say, hey, I need a letterer. And then I respond back, and then I hear nothing. And they're like, I don't know if they're getting the message or if the message isn't working or what, but
it's the huge issue in this whole industry. You've got a lot of people who are really creative, but they don't have a lot of like project management or business skills and stuff like that. So once you start getting in on these projects and you're like, okay, what are the tasks you want me to do? Where's your, marketing plan? What is this going on? And they're just like, oh, I thought we just made a comic and it makes money. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, people don't realize they have to be their own advertisement after the thing is done, So
right. Well, that's the thing with
hard reality, to swallow.
That's the thing with Global Comix. It's like we can't expect them to do our marketing too, even though they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. It's so true. But all right, gents, I'm going to start wrapping this up. We've been going for an hour and 36 minutes. Doesn't feel like
Time
it.
flies.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we start.
Think about everything we accomplished here in this stream. We focused on Tales of Nihilism. Harry rebooted ET.
Yeah.
You know, we had so much that we did here.
Yeah, well, we didn't have.
We praised Armageddon. We justified Michael Bay. We talked about the ins and outs of Jurassic Park and dinosaur movies overall.
Fantastic forecasting.
Yeah,
I know. Damn.
We didn't get a Harry's. What was it? The last episode, the Harry's random fact or whatever.
Oh, I can
Harry, you got a random fact you can pull out of a sock?
Well, being President's Day today, George Washington's teeth weren't really made of wood. You know what they were made of?
Slave's teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not only that, but hippopotamus ivory, gold, and what is the other one? Brass.
Yeah.
That's dark as fuck. That's a dark as fuck.
Right.
All right, so if I could wash the taste out of everybody's mouth, my fun fact is that Abraham Lincoln was a professional wrestler.
Yes.
Just gonna throw that out there right now.
Heels.
Abraham Lincoln wrestled actively.
I loved him in the Vampire Slayer or whatever that movie he was in. That's pretty awesome. So he's actually my favorite president of all time. Probably. I mean, not that it's like a big stretch, but whatever.
All-time favorite president, all-time favorite wrestler, all-time favorite bill of currency.
Exactly right. It's like the perfect package.
I would have to say mine would be LBJ because he flashed everyone.
Yeah.
He has some interesting like audio tapes of him revealed. Like he was telling some tailor how he wanted his pants hemmed. He's like, you wanted some like extra room in the taint area.
Yeah. But he would regularly do that. Just like, I'm gonna go in the bathroom, open the door, and talk to my freaking secretary with my stuff hanging out, and it's just like,
why not?
Amazing.
It's gangster. You gotta be a G to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Awesome. So as we start to wrap up here, Joe, Stephen, anything else that you guys would like to promote besides the Global Comix link?
Social
media chat for people to check out.
Yeah, so you can go to the Facebook. That's where we kind of like do news updates on Tales of Nihilism. So anything that's coming up, just check the Facebook page. I think we have like an Instagram and a Twitter too, but the Facebook is the main one for information on that. Yeah, the two conventions, Plastic City and Veteran Comic-Con this year. And if anyone listening as well is a small business, we offer advertising in the comics, and that's a great way for you guys to promote your small business at these conventions.
Oh, very cool. Do you charge for advertising?
Yeah, we charge.
How much?
For that.
What's like an ad cost?
For the conventions, we run like $100 for a quarter-page ad, and that's per issue. And then on digital, I think it's like we do like $15 for 30 days on a digital ad.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
And just to be clear, that's $100 per issue, not per copy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Per issue.
So in every it's in every copy, but it's only a one-time fee. Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good little way to make some money,
Yeah, get the name out there too.
Yeah, exactly. Helping other people, other creators and stuff. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And it's good for businesses. You can promote your products at these conventions without having to have your own booth and hire staff and all that. You just put an ad in our comic, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great idea. Like
it.
Anything else you guys want to promote, or is that we about covered it all?
And talking about the veteran stuff, I'm the Salty Skipper in Addie's Veteran Magazine, so go pick out a copy of that too.
Is that the sweatshirt you're wearing there? Your Salty sweatshirt?
Oh, I just get all my my stuff with Salty on it. Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Harry, anything you want to shout out this week or promote?
I heard that the comic that I worked on, that the guy that we worked with, Bruce,
Christmas time. Yeah.
It's at the printer right now as we speak, and then so he emailed me and told me that it's being print, or he got a printing proof so far before he gets it printed. I'm like, oh, can I have one or two copies? So one to keep keep safe and one to show off. He's like, yeah, sure, I can probably get you two for $30. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you can't just give me a couple, but whatever.
Was that part of the payment? Wow.
I guess not. I mean, I thought it was. I thought that was part of the agreement, but I guess not.
What, $30 for a copy? How many pages?
Well, for two copies, but he's like, I can get you one for
still $15. That's like the price of a graphic novel.
I know, and it's really. Real. I'm like, well, Bruce, I spent like hours and hours, in short notice. My back will attest to how many hours I put into this thing to clean it up, redraw it, portions of it, color it, and add detail. I'm like, so that's like tons of. I can't even tell you how many hours I spent on this.
I forget. Did you get paid for that?
Yeah, like not nearly what I should have been paid, but whatever. I mean, it became more of a like a
wanting to do it, kind of
right,
thing.
like a favor type of thing, charity, work, but I can't even get two copies. But I'm like, whatever. I told him, sure, I'll play by the rules, I guess, and I'll thank you for just he's like, Harry, I'll see what I can do, and if I can get you two copies, I will. I'm like, all right,
guy's trying to make you part of the profit margin.
So he paid me, so part of the and then he'll deduct some of the payment for me to get two copies. Like, right, whatever.
That's messed up. And how many pages is it?
10 pages, but
it's gonna cost $15 a copy.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much money it took him to get it printed or what. I mean, I have no knowledge.
Too much.
Oh,
yeah,
too much.
Sounds
Joe
like
nailed it.
Yeah.
That is not. You can tell the guy he's never made a comic before.
Yeah, I think it's a learning curve thing,
Absolutely.
We just shared in the chat Stephen's link to the Veteran magazine that he works on as well, so you guys can check that out. What were you gonna say?
We run I think it's 28 pages in ours, and to do the print off on them, it was like $50 for 25 copies. So it's
my god, something went wrong there, I think.
Yeah. Honestly, Harry, if he went through like Comics Wellspring for 10 pages, it'd probably be about a buck something for a copy.
I'll send him a link. I think he's planning on doing more comics, so maybe I'll send him a link to that.
I think there needs to be a minimum of 16 pages for print on.
I could send him a referral link so that I get credit for my purchases.
You have more authority in this than I do.
If I remember, I'll send you a referral link that you can send him so that I get credit for him, printing through them. I think the difference is you have to order 25 copies, but like I said,
page count, there's a minimum there too, though.
Oh, is there? But 10 pages should be qualified, shouldn't it? Or as long as you have,
I don't know. I'd have to double check.
He'd have to do 12 because it's 4.
At least 12.
4, yeah.
So but even then, pages. I think it's got to be there's a certain threshold. I think 16 is the minimum page count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you could just stuff that with ads and stuff,
Yeah, an ad for Tales for Nihilism.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So anyway, when that comes out, I'll show you guys. I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah, I want to check it out. I'd like to see your artwork for that.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I have it digitally. Maybe next week or next time I'll.
Yeah, we can pop it
that'd be
open
cool. Show it off.
Look,
do a quick review.
Yeah.
Definitely. How about you, Johnny? Any? I know you have one update with Surrounded by Death, right?
Yeah, I do actually.
I thought that was great.
Well, there was 2 actually this week. So I put together a little video of the hot sauce. So the hot sauce is over.
Yep. I will be running that in maybe a week or not next this episode? Friday, but the following Friday. I'll probably be running that one.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna try to get it down to under a minute so I might have to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, and that was the problem too, is that
tiny...
there was so much to like. I cut you. You saw the original cut was like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so there's a lot I had to cut down to make it 1 minute and 17 seconds minimum.
So the thing, I would take that 5-minute video too, and I'll release that as its own thing too if you want.
I gotta fix that too, but yeah, I could do that.
Well, if you fix it, I'll put it up as in its entirety as one video. You know,
cool,
that'd be great.
And yeah, and then we got 1 page of Surrounded by Death issue 3 done.
Yeah, it looks good though. Is that the first page of the book?
No, that's a page that's some like couple of pages in, and that page actually featured all the high tier backers that backed the campaign and paid for the, you know, the get illustrated into the comic. So even though I refunded a lot of people for issue 3 for the individual issue, I still hung on to the cash for that because I knew they were getting illustrated. So that's the, you know, it just goes to show that it's still in progress. Joe's finished the work for Committed at the moment, Committed Comics, our guest that came on, and now he's working.
He'll be on again in like a 2 week or 2 or a couple more episodes. Those guys will be back on.
Cool. They should bring Joe. That would be cool.
Yeah, I know.
Have him on. We could talk.
Well, I know they're promoting that Nearer X, so I think the guy's name is Tom. I think he's bringing Bill Mouse on, and Bill's been on the show once with us. He's great, guys. Very fun, very funny.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. That'll be a cool episode. Yeah, no, but it looks good, dude. I like the image of the zombies and stuff. Thought it looked great. So
yeah.
I should be starting on your lettering soon, hopefully. I just got another lettering job came in, so I know you weren't in a hurry, so I put yours on the back burner while I do this one in between.
Mm-hmm.
But I will get to it ASAP after that, so I can get it to you.
Yeah, no rush. So I'm hoping to have that collection of shorts ready by end of March.
Okay. So, yeah, I should be able to hit that, no problem.
Yeah, so
I got to deliver this.
There's some stuff getting colored. You're doing a little bit of lettering, so it's a progress. It's work in progress.
Well, this guy needs his pages by the beginning of March, so by the time I get that done, I should be able to go right into your book or your story right after that.
Awesome.
And the other thing I wanted to talk to you, Johnny, and Harry about is doing an extra episode in March too. Our buddy Tony James just launched his Star Noir Second Chance campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know he wanted to come on a couple times, and the only time I could kind of really work him in is in early April, like towards the end of his campaign. But I said, maybe in March we could do a bonus episode and maybe do something like the writing thing that he talked about, where you get him and Nandor and a couple other writers to come on and just talk shop or something,
George Medina, that would be great.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Podcast. Yeah, let's get all 3 of those guys on it. That'd be awesome.
That would be dope.
So, all right, that'd be a cool idea. I'll hit them up and see if we can make that happen.
March Madness.
All right.
What's that?
March Madness.
March Madness.
Beginning.
We call it the March Madness episode.
Right, exactly.
I like that. But all right, yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up. And does anyone else have anything that they want to, shout out or anything before we close it out,
gentlemen?
Nope.
Well, it was nice.
It was nice having it.
Nice talking to you guys in person.
Nice to have you guys back again, and get
Absolutely.
an update on
Thank
everything.
you for taking time out of your schedule to come on the show again. We greatly appreciate that. I know you guys, you have a lot in your plates running all the Tales from Nihilism books, but taking a little time coming on the show, we greatly appreciate you guys doing that.
Is this a dumb question? What does nihilism mean, or is it mean something, or?
Yeah, it's a philosophy.
Okay,
and basically
that everything is pointless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And as as most people, I guess, who get into it, nihilism leads into absurdism. So,
Yeah. Harry, if you ever met a zillennial, that's nihilism.
I was gonna say it's the backbone of goth culture.
Right?
And you can't listen to metal without having a little bit of a nihilistic streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never got into metal, so I don't know if you can tell.
There you go.
Yeah. That was a good question,
I was
because
like,
I
I like
some people
polka.
out there didn't know what it meant either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Darth Nihilist or something. I wasn't sure.
Well, that fits with the character because he's trying to eat everything to fill the hole that he can't fill, in himself.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's great.
Failing
All right,
himself.
guys. So, all right. Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode of Indie Comics Relay. Join us then, and check out Plastic City Comic Con. We just announced Jimmy Hart as our guest this summer.
Mouth of the
It'll
South.
be great. Still $10 to get in, which you won't find a cheaper convention anywhere in the US, I don't think, at this point. So
Guaranteed free parking.
yeah, free parking. Shouldn't be a charge for Wi-Fi, hopefully, either.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know what the hotel they might charge. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
you never
see.
know with that one.
Yeah, exactly. That could go either way. But all right, everybody, we'll have a great week. And most importantly, read some comics, and we'll talk to you soon. All right,
Be
good night,
excellent to one
everybody.
another.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.